All right, so let me give y'all the juice and the business on why the drone strike deserves a TikTok. And we also shouldn't know the TikTok, but hey, President of the United States decided we should know the information, so we know the information. But it does seem to have come with a little bit of a backlash from the intelligence community, because normally that type of stuff is on the hush hush. And I'm talking about the U.S. strike on a Venezuelan facility, allegedly, purportedly. I mean, it came from the president, so I'm assuming this shit really happened. But here's the thing. First thing we got to remember is a few months ago, rewind the clock a little bit, the president authorized CIA covert action within Venezuela. Now, I actually had to go back and I could not find a historical record of when another president openly told the US before or during the CIA action of anything that they were operating in a country or in an area. And I looked quite a bit. I mean, I was looking for stuff. Did we do the same thing before the Bay of Pigs? Did we do any similar stuff in Europe or the Middle East or in Panama or in any other countries that we were operating in? I couldn't find another example, but we had that nugget of information that the president authorized the CIA to do stuff. Now, here's the thing. The CIA can operate independently of the Department of Defense. They have their own missiles, their own drones, their own snipers, their own they have their own set of like operators. Okay, I have a buddy that works for the CIA. Side note, one moment. So, and also I'm making an Americano today, so we're gonna take a preheated glass. We're gonna go with about, let's go 60 grams of water, maybe 20 grams of coffee. We'll figure all that out here in a second. But CIA authorized to operate in that area. Okay, that's fantastic. That's great. But the thing is what does that mean overall when it comes to the type of actions that they're permitted to take? We don't know, but I guess this drone strike or whatever this strike was one of them. And it's something that we need to come to terms to, that they're making these type of moves within the country. But this strike in Venezuela on this facility is part of a broader effort, as I mentioned. So we've been building up a heavy military presence in the Caribbean. Like I mentioned the other day, what began as a counter narcotics campaign has become into like this broader mission. Are we Americans sure what the broader mission is yet? Not necessarily. It does seem to be going after the vast oil companies that are owned by Venezuela and the oil owned by the country itself. But I have proof of that? Not really, other than reportedly we asked some of our own oil companies, would they be down to go start doing action again in Venezuela? But that's like all I got for now. So the next steps are literally kind of unclear. They're unclear to us. I don't think they're unclear to like these United States. I think we have a plan. At least I would hope we have a plan. So let's throw 50 grams of water over here. So that's what we got here. So we got the water going. And then we're going to put this we're going to brew our coffee directly into the water. That way I can keep the crema on top. I don't really know what I'm doing. I just wing this stuff, but we're not really sure what like happens next. We have the aircraft Gerald R. Ford in the area. We have the Pentagon seems to be extending the deployment of people that are there. They cut off holiday vacation time. A lot of troops reported that they had the ability. Some folks had the ability to go home for Christmas. Some folks didn't. New Year, the same thing in regards to just a lot of those different holidays like Thanksgiving as well. We've been in the area since late August. So it's something that is definitely, we definitely seem like we're going to be there for the long haul. But the strike is kind of one thing that we need to pay attention to. But bigger picture than all of that is other things that we're doing in the region. We're still chasing the vessel Bella 1. In a video a couple of days ago, I said that reportedly we had captured it. That was all misinformation reported by different websites. I'm glad I said allegedly in that video, because we're still chasing it down. It does lead me to believe, it has me have fears that we're becoming like the police of the Western Hemisphere. Last time I heard, that boat was in the Northern Atlantic, and they've also painted a Russian flag on the side of the vessel. I don't know if they did that to try to say, don't mess with us, America, because we're flying the flag of Russia and you could start something bigger. Speaking of something bigger, bruh, it's Americano. It's getting it done. But we've also took out a lot of folks in boat strikes. And not only have we taken folks out in boat strikes, the Coast Guard is still doing regular drug operations. They're still using cutters to intercept boats, shoot out their engines, and arrest the people on board. We're not striking those people. So if you're near the coast of America, or if you're coming from like the Pacific side, or even deeper in the Caribbean, you're just being intercepted by a Coast Guard cutter and arrested. So these actions, that's why I further believe that we are definitely trying to lean heavy on Maduro to step down. Like, hey, listen, this is what we have the ability to do. But beyond that, according to the Wall Street Journal, current CIA operators and members and former CIA operators and officials are very upset at the disclosure of not only the fact that they're operating in the country, but that we conducted a strike, because the pieces have been put together that I didn't know last video, that this strike was carried out and mostly done via the CIA using reportedly their own drones, not DoD assets. And here's the thing, normally whenever the news agencies ask the CIA, did you do this strike in this country, whether it's Yemen or Somalia or Sudan, now Venezuela, they always say, nah, we can't confirm or deny it was us. But that just shows the country the ability of the United States for future attacks. It's like a hint, like FAFO. This one is a little bit different because it is very openly reported that they're authorized to be in the country and to conduct missions in the country. This marks a clear departure from practices of past presidents who for decades rarely mentioned drone strikes or other covert operations, says the Wall Street Journal. They quoted the operatives. I don't think that this is like legally contentious. He's the president of the United States. He can make anything unclassified, but it does put the CIA and the DoD in this pickle where they have to not officially talk about it to the head of their agencies, whether that's Secretary Hegseth or like the CIA director or the president themselves authorizes them to, or they have to say nothing at all. Whereas the top of the food chain gets to say stuff. I think that this is kind of just the beginning. I think that there's no way that we could think or perceive that we're just going to let this be a one and done type of thing. There's no way you're a CIA operative that you've been there for years, because I'm pretty sure they didn't just fly in on a random aircraft. These CIA operatives have been in the country for a very long time, establishing relationships, that all of a sudden, that's the only strike that we're going to do. Is the CIA going to be capable enough to push Maduro out? I don't know. I don't know how capable the CIA is. They may be able to on their own do enough saboteur type of activities to where Maduro wants to leave and to maybe go to Qatar or to UAE or something like that, but more to come. I find it very interesting that all this is going down. What do you think? Do you think the CIA is just getting started? You think they're going to have the Department of Defense or Department of War join in as well? Do you like Americanos? Answer any of those questions down below. First time stopping by, hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you part of the battalion. If this is not your first time stopping by, well, thank you once again for watching me run my grape. For everyone else, we'll speak soon.